Hello, my name's Toby Thompson. I'm here today with Andrew Schuster, a DBA student here at Cranfield. Andrew, you're working in the area of project management inside of organisations. Tell us more about your research.
Well, the research that I'm doing is focused at looking at projects from an organizational perspective and the capabilities that organizations have in delivering projects in the civil service. So what are the unique aspects? What are the challenges associated with that? How do you create capabilities to actually take on the challenge of a large complex project in the civil service?
So how is that different from, like, say, private sector?
Well, all projects are complex in many ways, but there are unique aspects in the civil service in that you're dealing with ministerial decision making, as an example, where the volatility of public scrutiny and challenge actually plays a role. There's also a challenge between bringing in private sector consultants to help manage projects in the civil service relative to another very core skill, which is the policymaker. And that sets up a tension that needs to be managed in a different way, in a way that's unique to the civil service, having that policy, project management expertise coming against one another. Dealing with consultants is a really important aspect to delivering projects in the civil service. This core skill of a policymaker is very much built around analysis and being flexible and exploring and coming up with approaches to solving complex theoretical views of society. How are you going to affect unemployment, that sort of thing. When it comes to project management, it's much more contained, focused, structured process to actually get a deliverable out the door, and that sets up a conflict and a paradox. And those are different skills. Different people are involved. We have to appreciate that both of those things are important, but how do they work together?
So where are those skills sitting inside the organisation? You talk about the abstract organisation, but it's individual project teams that make the projects work. Where do those skills sit?
There are a number of key individuals and key roles, and the interesting part is some individuals work in both the project space and the non-project space. An example of that, you'll have an executive, a senior civil servant, who has to worry about facing minister and actually getting all the public scrutiny and being flexible and understanding what the challenges are from that perspective. And that senior executive, senior civil servant will have another name in the project setting, which is a senior responsible officer or owner, and depending on who you speak to. And that individual plays two roles and has to play one of those roles off of the other. The other roles that you have are the policymakers themselves, skilled consultants. You have various stakeholders in other parts of the organization that come in to advise on what the needs are. And you have actually some individuals focused just on improving and developing capability in the civil service. And there's these things called centers of excellence. There's also one other role that's tremendously important in the development of project-based organizing capability, and that's individuals who head up and lead program management offices. It's a specific function brought into organizations and developed, who oversee some of the technical aspects of project management and the skills associated with it. And there is a unique capability or a skill that's developed in the organization, and these people help facilitate that process. So you have many players working together and sometimes against each other to actually make these things happen.
It sounds fabulously relevant to everyday life inside of an organisation.
Well, the work that I'm looking at, project-based organizing, happens in modern organizations today, not just in the civil service. Now, the findings that I'm focusing a bit more on the insights and the tensions and paradoxes within the civil service, but project-based organizing is critical to the modern economy, and it happens in private sector, in the third sector, in the public sector. So some of the findings about capability, although specific to the civil service, actually apply to the larger society in general.
Andrew, thank you very much indeed for your time.